Hey everyone, Hitesh here from ET's personal tech team, and today we're giving you a look at the new A6 Plus and the J6 from Samsung. These are two new devices, obviously in the A and the J series. As you can see, they've got Infinity written on the boxes itself. This refers to, of course, the Infinity Display. These actually have an 18.5:9 aspect ratio, quite like the premium Samsung Galaxy phones. So let's take a look at what we get in the box. Here is the J6. Inside the box, we get quick start guide, warranty information. There is a micro USB cable. You get a pair of 3.5mm earphones and a charger. This is 5V 1A. So that's as far as the box contents go. Now this is a polycarbonate unibody. It's not a metal unibody, although it does feel quite sturdy in the hand. It is quite solid. Comes with this little plastic pre-installed. Let me just remove all of this so that we can get a better look at the phone. You can see that there is a 3.5mm over here, micro USB. There's the camera. This is the fingerprint scanner at the back. Thanks to the Infinity Display, the typical home button up front on the Samsung has been moved to the back. And you'll also see something that the loudspeaker is on the side over here alongside the power button. Volume up and down on the left side. And nothing much else. In terms of the specifications of this device, this has an Exynos 7 series processor. There are two variants of this. There's a 3GB RAM, 32GB storage. That's for 13,990. And there is a 4GB RAM and 64GB storage variant that is for 16,490. So it is a budget phone, but it does have a Samsung OLED screen. Samsung really knows how to make good OLED screens. So we'll power this up and see what it looks like in the meantime. More about the device, it's a 5.6-inch HD plus resolution Super AMOLED. Around the back, it's a 13-megapixel f1.9 camera. Up front, 8-megapixel f1.9. So pretty wide apertures there. There's also a flash at the back and in the front. MicroSD slot is available, supports up to 256 GB. There's a 3000 mAh battery, and it comes with Android O out of the box. So let's just wait till this powers on, set it up and show you what the interface looks like. So here's a look at the interface. It's called Samsung Experience. Nothing very new here. It looks pretty much like any other Galaxy phone. You can swipe up or swipe down to see the rest of the apps. And of course, it's powered by Android Oreo. So a couple of other things to note here is that it has three slots. There's one SIM card slot here, and the second slot for SIM card number 2 and a dedicated micro SD. So that's something that a lot of people want these days, to be able to use two SIMs and a micro SD. It also has previously mentioned the fingerprint and face unlock as well. Now both of these, we've been trying them out. They're not lightning fast like let's say some of the flagship phones or even phones that cost upwards of 20,000. They do work fairly well, I would say. So that's about it as far as the J6 goes. If you have any questions about this device, do let us know in the comments. We'll move on now to the A6 Plus. So here's the A6 Plus. Let's see what else we get in the box. The usual quick start guide, warranty information, SIM eject tool. Here we have a micro USB cable, 3.5mm earphones, and this is the charger. It's a 5V 1.55 amp charger. Not a quick charger there, should get the job done though. Moving on to the device. This is a metal unibody design. As you can see, this is the gold variant, 64GB storage and 4GB RAM. That's the only variant that's available. There's a dual camera at the back. Here's the fingerprint sensor, LED flash. These are the antenna lines, the design that you can see over here, since this is a metal unibody. Micro USB, 3.5mm audio out. You also have the loudspeaker on the right hand side, something we're seeing a lot with the Samsung phones now. Volume rocker on the left, power button on the right, and again you seem to have a dedicated micro SD. Here's a SIM card slot here, SIM number 2 plus micro SD. So dedicated micro SD slot up to 256 gigabytes. In terms of the phone itself, this is a Snapdragon 450, and like I said, only one variant. It's a 6-inch FHD plus Super AMOLED screen. We'll power it on, see what the interface looks like. As far as the cameras go, it's a 16 megapixel f1.7 and a 5 megapixel f1.9. That's the secondary camera. Up front is a 24 megapixel f1.9. So wide apertures, front and rear. That's quite a flagship feature that they have. Although the Snapdragon 450 is absolutely not a flagship processor, and this phone is priced at 25,990. So that's something that Samsung's gonna find tough, because the Snapdragon 450 phones are actually priced a lot lesser. So the things that it does have going for it are the metal unibody design, of course, and it's got a large battery, 3500 milliampere hour. And so let's take a look at the interface once we get it set up. So here's the interface on the A6 Plus. Again, Samsung experience, nothing very unusual here. Swipe up or down to see all the apps. What this does have is also face unlock and the fingerprint. Now, not everyone is going to like the fingerprint placement, which is right up next to the camera. In fact, when you're registering the fingerprint itself, it says be careful not to smudge the camera lens. So, you know, like my finger rests over here. This would probably have been the ideal position for the fingerprint sensor, but it is a little bit higher up. The fingerprint sensor and the face unlock, they work pretty well. I would say not, again, just like the J6, not as good as the flagships, but it works pretty fine actually. So what else about this phone? Now, the Snapdragon 450, like I mentioned earlier, is going to be a little bit of a negative for this phone. Now, in terms of the competition, especially around the 25,000 mark, you do have a lot of other competition. There's the Nokia 7 Plus. Now, that has the Snapdragon 660. There's the Huawei P20 Lite that's actually significantly cheaper at 20,000. That's the Kirin 659. There's also the Oppo F7 at 21,000, the Vivo V9 at 22. Now you can get, even those phones have the notch display, so an even larger display, more screen is to body ratio in those cheaper phones. So that's where this Samsung is going to have a little bit of a tough battle. It's more for really Samsung loyalists who should probably enjoy the unibody design. It's got a dual camera and it's got live focus as well. That's another thing borrowed from the more premium phones, live focus. That's enabled by the dual camera at the back. So we will be doing a full review of these, and if you have any questions in the meantime, do reach out to us directly in the comments or on Twitter. Thanks for watching.